everybody, what's up? It's J-Lac and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about setting powders. So what powders I use to set my face, and these are powders that will be friendly with brown skin, medium tan, brown, olive, all of that. So these are my favorite products for my skin tone, and if you're around my skin tone or a little bit lighter or darker, then I think these will work for you as well. So yeah, this is a continuation of my little series I'm doing on my channel, which is products for medium tan, brown, olive skin tones. So if you haven't checked out my other videos, I do have other videos on other things such as foundations and highlighters and things like that. So yeah, today we'll be talking about setting powders, so let's get started. So the first setting powder I have is this Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal setting powder. So this is my favorite setting powder at the moment. So this is what it looks like. It comes in this really cute packaging. But yeah, so this is a translucent powder, so it should work for pretty much anyone with any skin tone. But I really like this for me and my skin tone, and so I'm gonna try and show you guys a little bit of the powder. So this powder has a tint of yellow in it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but the reason I love this powder so much is because it has a tint of yellow in it that I just think complements a medium brown tan skin tone really well, because that yellow just gives the skin such a nice brightness. And so yeah, I use this underneath my eyes, and I can also set my whole face with this because it is a translucent powder. So yeah, let me see if I can show you guys the color. Okay, so here is a little bit of the powder inside the cap. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to see the tint of yellow in it, but this is what the powder looks like nonetheless. And so yeah, it does have that hint of yellow in it, which just complements a brown skin tone so nicely. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this translucent powder. It also makes your skin look so smooth and so soft and literally airbrushed. So this powder overall is just so good, will make you look so nice. So yeah, I would definitely recommend. Next up, I have the infamous Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. So it looks like this. And so this translucent powder is also one of my favorites to set my makeup with because it's just such a nice powder. Like the Too Faced one, this one also makes your skin look so smooth and makes you look airbrushed, and it works well with a lot of skin tones. And if you have a darker to deeper skin tone than mine, then they also do have another shade of the translucent powder, which is in the shade medium deep or something like that, which is a tinted translucent powder. So that's also really cool that they came out with that, because if this powder didn't work for you because it was too light for you, then you can use that one, which I think is really cool. But yeah, so this one works well with my skin tone, and I just think it's really nice. It doesn't have that tint of yellow that the Too Faced one has, but nonetheless this is really nice and it just looks really good on the skin. Will not give you a white cast or anything like that. So yeah, I would definitely recommend. Next up, I have a powder that I use to strictly set my under eye concealer, and so my under eye concealer and the concealer I use here and then here, but I do not use this to set my whole face, and you'll know why once I tell you in a second. But this is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder, and it looks like this. So this is what the packaging looks like, and let me show you guys the color. So this is not a translucent powder, it's just a setting powder, but this is what the color is, and I'm in the shade medium 2. Well, not in the shade, but my shade to set my under eye is medium 2. Okay, so this is what the shade medium 2 looks like, and so I'm not sure in what world this is considered medium, but I guess to Charlotte Tilbury this is what the shade medium looks like. So I've seen pictures of what the shade 1, which is light, looks like, and I've seen pictures of what the third shade, dark, looks like, and so she just has 3 shades, and I'll put a picture right here just so you can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I'm not really sure in what world this is considered medium, because this is not medium, this is a white color. And so yeah, I'm just confused about what the thought process was behind that. And the funny thing is that the shade 1, the light shade, looks just like this shade, but I guess it's lighter. And then the shade number 3, which is dark, is this really weird looking dark shade. It's not even brown really. It kind of looks ashy, honestly. I don't know what the thought process was, but since we're talking about it, I guess, I did get this powder for Christmas, and I've heard so many good things about this powder, so I was excited when I got this for Christmas. But the shade range is just really disappointing. I just don't understand it at all. But this powder is really nice, like people do say, so it is a really nice setting powder, and the people I've seen use this usually set their whole face with it, but obviously I can't set my whole face with this because it is so much lighter than my skin tone and it would just have me looking really weird. But so I use this to set my under eye concealer and then the concealer here and here, and for that purpose it works well because it does brighten my under eye and then it makes it look really nice and smooth and it doesn't crease at all. So that's why I like this, but I wish there was a larger shade range so that I could find a shade that I could actually set my whole face with and have my whole face look airbrushed and flawless like this powder. It's a really nice powder, but I just can't use it to set my whole face. So yeah, I wish in the future there is a larger shade range so that people on the medium to deep spectrum of shades can wear this on their whole face instead of just setting it with it. But yeah, so that's just my opinion on that. But yeah, so if you do have this or we're thinking about getting it, then I use it to set my under eye, so maybe that's what you could use it for too, or we can all just wait for her to come out with more shades. But yeah, so I guess we'll see. And the next setting powder I have is this Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit, and this is in the shade light to medium. So this is what her contour kit looks like on the outside, and then when you open it up, so this is what the inside of the palette looks like. And so to set my under eye, I use this banana shade right here in the middle. So I only use this shade to set my under eye concealer and the places that I've concealed. I don't obviously use this for my whole face. But yeah, so this powder right here, the banana one in the middle, is such a nice powder to set my under eye with. I used to set my under eye with this so much maybe a year and a half ago, but then I got more stuff and then kind of moved on. But this was my go-to setting shade for my concealer. So yeah, it just has that nice banana yellow shade in it, which looks so good on my skin tone. So I think you would really like it too. And then you also get a whole palette. So it's a really nice little palette and I would definitely recommend. But yeah, so this one is a really, really good one. And then another palette that I have is the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour palette. So this is what the outside looks like. This is what it looks like when you open it up. And so I obviously use this middle shade right here. And this is another banana colored shade. So this shade, again, I don't use this to set my whole face. I only use this to set my under eye concealer and other places I've concealed. But this shade also has that banana yellow color in it, which just looks so nice when set with on top of concealer. And yeah, it just brightens my eyes. It's a nice powder. It just looks good. So this one and then the Anastasia one are both really nice, and they come with contour and bronzer shades as well. If I had to pick between the two, in case you guys were wondering, I would pick the Kat Von D one just because I like the color selection and the bronzer shades and contour shades a little bit better in this one, but nonetheless they are both good. But yeah, I would pick this one. Okay, so the next couple products I have are more affordable and drugstore products. So the first thing I have is the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder, and this is a translucent powder. And this is a very, very popular translucent powder in the drugstore, and it looks like this. And yeah, this powder is so nice, you guys. It feels like it would be much more expensive than it is. It is a really nice powder. So if you're on a budget, then this is the powder to get because it does everything that those other ones do, but it's just such a cheaper price. So when I use this, it makes my skin look so nice and so smooth, and it just makes me, I don't know, it makes me feel like just smooth when I touch my skin afterwards. And so this is a translucent powder, but this one does have a hint of pink in it. So whereas the Too Faced one has a hint of yellow in it, this one has a hint of pink in it. So let me see if I can show you guys. So I hope you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. So this one has just a slight hint of pink in it, like that pale, just pinky color in it, but it doesn't interfere with my skin at all. So when I put it on, it doesn't make me look weird after I put it on because of the pink in it. It is truly a translucent powder, so don't be afraid of that. It looks so pretty, and it just leaves my skin looking flawless, and it works really well with my skin tone. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this. Okay, so the last two products that I have are both Wet n Wild contouring palettes. So these are what the two palettes look like. So as you can see, this one is the lighter palette and then this one is the darker palette. So yeah, that's the difference between the two. One is darker and then one is lighter. So the lighter one is called Dulce de Leche and then the darker one is called Caramel Toffee. So for this video, I'll be talking obviously about the lighter shades, so the setting shades. So both of these shades work well with my skin tone. So the one that comes in the lighter palette, which let me show you guys. So this is the one that comes in the Dulce de Leche palette. So this shade actually does work really well with my skin tone. So keep in mind though, I don't set my whole face with this shade. I only use this shade to set my under eye concealer and then wherever else I put concealer, I just use it for that. But this shade works really nicely with my skin tone. So don't be afraid of this shade if you are around my skin tone because it does work really nicely. And the finish of these powders, so both this one and this one, they are such nice finishes. So obviously Wet n Wild is drugstore, but this finish of this powder is so high quality. It leaves my under eye and the places I concealed looking so, just like I said about the other ones, it just looks so airbrushed and flawless and smooth under my skin. So definitely this is a really, really high quality powder. So yeah, this one does work for my skin tone. So if you're my skin tone or a little bit lighter, then this will definitely work for you. And then so the other shade, the one that comes in the Caramel Toffee, so this shade has a lot more yellow in it. So right there is the Caramel Toffee palette. And so this shade, as you can clearly tell, has much more yellow in it. And I really like this as well because this one leaves my under eye looking just as nice as the other one because for my skin tone they just both work, but this yellow shade in this powder is just really, really nice. So if you have my skin tone or deeper than me, then I think this powder will be better for you because I think you'll like the yellow in it and it will work really nice with your skin. But yeah, so both powders work well for my skin. They're just different in color. So it just depends on if you're a little bit lighter than this one and if you're a little bit darker than this one, but both work really well. And the formula of this powder, like I said, is so good. And I just wanted to put them side by side so you guys can see what they look like right next to each other. So you can see the lighter one doesn't have that much yellow in it, and then the darker palette does have that yellow in it. So this is just what they look like side by side so you guys can see. But yeah, really good and really affordable. So, and you also get a bronzer shade in this. So yeah, this is a really, really good deal. And yeah, that brings us to the end of the video. So those are the powders that I use to set my face with or to set the places I've concealed with. And yeah, these are all my go-to products and the ones that look best on my skin tone, don't make me look weird or give me a white cast or anything, and they work really nice with my skin tone. So if you are around my skin tone, then I think you would enjoy these products as well. And yeah guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and be sure to check out the other videos I have on this series of medium tan skin tone stuff. So be sure to check that out, and if you haven't already, then please do subscribe to my channel if you liked today's video, and be sure to check out my other ones as well. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.